Thank you very much for staying with us. You're still watching In the Game on News Central TV and Favor Itua. Like we said before going on break, it's time to talk what rugby has been in Nigeria, looking at the journey to what we expect at the moment and what to look forward to in the future. Rugby journey in Nigeria has grown from a niche sport to a symbol of national pride, with roots tracing back to colonial times. The game, of course, slowly gained traction, fed by passionate local players and dedicated administrators. Now, recent years have seen structured development, grassroots initiatives, and international exposure through 7s and, of course, 15s formats. Now, the Nigeria Rugby Football Federation has played a pivotal role in this evolution, ensuring more youth participation and club competitions. And, of course, as the sport gains momentum, all eyes are on the NRFF strategic vision. Now, we are honored to host the Chief Operating Officer of the Nigerian Rugby Football Federation. I have, of course, Mr. Tunde Delu. Good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Good afternoon, Favor. Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you. Rugby at the moment doing a lot, and we're looking forward to getting more and exciting things from the world of rugby.
Yes, definitely. And with the traction that we're gaining and the direction that we're going, I believe in the next couple of years, rugby is going to be one of the most popular sports in Nigeria.
All right, and also joining us via, of course, online is the General Manager of the Nigeria Rugby Football Federation, and not forgetting also former captain of the Stallions, Azeez Ladipo, joins us this afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Azeez. Thank you very much for coming through.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's go straight to business and talk about rugby as a sport in Nigeria. Yes, we know the Stallions, what they've been able to do. I'd like to ask you, Delu, what challenges has rugby faced in Nigeria's sports landscape when you look at its inception and up until now?
I think one of the most basic challenges that rugby has faced over the years, say in the last 20 years, is the issue of participation. Though the sport is being played and being accepted, a lot of people are still skeptical about the nature of the sport. They're afraid of injuries. They think rugby is a dangerous sport, which is a wrong notion. Rugby is a very safe sport, and if that is taken out, I believe that a lot more people will accept rugby as a sport.
All right, let me come to Ladipo. Ladipo, you look at rugby, you of course have been a player of the Stallions before now, and now you are in the administrative angle. Let's look at the grassroots. What's the NRFF doing to promote grassroots rugby? Looking at, taking it back to the grassroots.
No, thank you very much for that question. It's a fantastic one. Over the last 7-8 weeks, we've been able to launch a girl child program called the Rugby Rising Play. It's targeted at girls between the age of 10 and 18. And they're targeting 3,000 girls across the country, 15 states. So if you go to Kano, Kaduna, you go to Bauchi, Plateau, FCT, Ilorin, Kwara State, Benue, Abia, Anambra, Akwa Ibom, Lagos, Ogun. So all the states currently have girls playing rugby in schools, and we are teaching them non-contact rugby. Non-contact rugby meaning that there will not be any contact, there won't be tackles and what have you. So they are playing rugby in a very safe environment. Also, we've ensured that our coaches have been able to, complete the what you call the safeguarding program, which ensures that children, even adults, play rugby in a safe environment. Now, apart from this, we all know that just a few days ago we lost the bid to make it into the National Sports Festival. That's also part of the grassroots plan. We have plans for the league. The league has been in suspension for a while. Apologies for that. The league was suspended for a while in terms of playing. But then we got back last year playing against Southwest League. We saw the South League a couple of weeks ago. In the North, we're expecting them to play once rain starts to fall. So across the board, we are doing our best to get the games to schools and make it more accessible to everyone. Also, when we look at the Get Into Rugby program, we are going into the 2.0 very soon, and very soon it will be launched. CEO is working hard on it, the board are working hard on it, and myself, and we are working hard to ensure that rugby comes back to the grassroots. Also, before I end up this, question about grassroots, we have been able to, gain entry into the Nuga Games. And you all know that, the world over, once children start to play rugby from age 8 to 10 to 16, there's usually a break between the age of 16 and 22. And we figured out that that is the university stage. That's when they go off to school. So we want to bridge that gap by ensuring that the Nuga Games and the Nipoga Games have rugby in there. So those are some of the efforts we are currently working on in terms of grassroots rugby.
All right, fantastic. I mean, you've been able to talk about what rugby is looking at in doing for the grassroots. Let me come to you now, Delu. Let's look at what he said. I mean, the National Sport Festival, just about after the technical meeting they had in Ogun State at Belkota, it was said it was not going to be part of the compulsory sport. Rather, it will be an optional sport of amongst the 25, and the state will have the right to choose 5 optional sports for the National Sport Festival. How does this impact rugby as a federation in Nigeria?
Well, to make a clarification, the JTM, the Joint Technical Meeting, actually ended on Wednesday. It was, at the end of the day, rugby, because of the nature of certain things, has been excluded from this year's sports festival. Basically because of some aspects of the contingent and then the zonal eliminations that will have to have played before being able to be part of this coming sports festival. So that rugby is not going to be part of the sports festival this year, but I'm sure the next edition, holding in Enugu, 2026, rugby is going to be part of the sport.
So how does this, affect the plans? I mean, I'm very sure the federation must have thought about, having to play it in Ogun State. That way they get other states to see talent. So what will now happen between now for next year when we'll have to
go back to the drawing board and then we strategize. And between now and then, hopefully the league will commence, and also we'll have plenty of grassroots competitions where our players can participate, while we also have international tournaments that the national teams, both male and female, are going to participate in.
All right, Delu, Ladipo, if you're still with us, I'd like to ask, I mean, what's the long-term vision for rugby? I mean, rugby, yes, when you look at South Africa, we have the Springboks, a dominant force. In New Zealand, we have the Blacks doing a lot of things. In Nigeria, yes, the Stallions, when they go out to play competition, we see that they try to, compete. How soon do you think that we can be categorized as an A-list country in rugby? And also, what's the long-term vision for Nigerian rugby?
Thank you very much. I think for us, we're lucky to have, top players spread across the globe. So for us, it's not far away. It's not far-fetched. I think it's something within our grasp. If we are able to get funding and get our acts together, which I think we've gotten that right now in terms of administratively. It's one of the reasons why I got involved, to ensure that, there's some loopholes that needs to be blocked administratively. So now, going into, there are 2 approaches to, getting there. There's a bottom-up approach and a top-down approach. So bottom-up, we are getting it right, going to schools, bringing equipment in. Yesterday, we received equipment from the British High Commission, which is going to go around to clubs and state associations and clubs, so that rugby will be more accessible to more people. Now, the bottom-up approach is going on where you can see children in schools playing rugby, but then there's a top-down approach, which includes getting national team to perform well, international representation, high performance. We have hundreds of players in UK alone. We have players in America. We have players spread across the globe. We also have local talents doing well. Although the competition is not enough for them in terms of the amount of games needed to be able to perform at that level, but we are going to increase the competition. So apart from the league, which is going to happen soon, we're also looking strategically at introducing cup competitions. So that means they'll play league today, next week could be a cup challenge against another team. So that gives them more game time. So increasing game time is very important for local-based players. Abroad, for our players based abroad, that's not a problem for them. They have a lot of games that they play. So very soon, we will be making a trip down to the UK. Myself, CEO, if few government officials. Thank God for the NSC. They are keen into the vision of NRFF. Our president also, Dr. Ademare, we have to give kudos to him. He has got listening here. He's a progressive. He likes to move forward. Visits to those players. We have players in top 14 in France, playing in Premiership in France, England.
All right, I think we lost connectivity right there. But let me come to you, Tunde Delu. Let's look at how we can involve the fans. It's wanting to, try to build from the grassroots, but the fans also needs to, Nigerian fans, but we're talking about Nigerian fans, they need to accept rugby. Not many are really lovers of rugby, only a few. So how do you plan to integrate, fans from the grassroots to the elites, to be part of what rugby is doing in Nigeria?
How many Nigerians love rugby? But the thing is, most of them are not educated about the sport. They don't know what the sport is about. We had a competition in Abeokuta last Saturday, and there were hundreds of people showed up. And what we did during that competition was, for the first few matches, we made sure that the person that was anchoring the programs kept educating the crowd and the fans on the game, on the tactics, on what was going on the pitch. And by the third, fourth game, everybody understood the game. Rugby is a very easy game to play, and even for Nigerians, we are naturally suited for rugby. So it's a game that is...
Do you have to be built to play rugby?
Rugby accepts different body types.
Oh.
That is the interesting part of it. Most people see Azeez Ladipo, for example, and they'll be like, did this guy ever play rugby? Whereas he was the captain of the Stallions.
A lot of us will think you have to be like Kolisi of South Africa.
No, you don't have to. Depending on the position, the wing that you're playing, that's the body type that suits the wing. So different body types can play rugby.
All right, different body types can play rugby, says Tunde Delu. I must say a big thank you to you for coming through today. And also to the former captain of the Stallions, Ladipo Azeez. Thank you very much for joining today's edition. We'll be looking forward to what rugby is doing in Nigeria. And hopefully, in the next few months, the next few years, when the league kickstarts, we can now see, when you look at Category A sports in Nigeria, we'll be able to mention rugby. Thank you very much for coming through.
Thank you for having us.